All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, for deciding to practice yoga with me today. It's super important for us to understand that yoga is really about the union of the mind, the body, and the breath. And we utilize the breath to clear away any blockages, but also to help to keep us present. So we need to understand the importance of deep breathing and prana, which really ultimately just means vital life, right? So without that understanding between the mind, the body, and the breath, we're just kind of going through the motions, right? And yoga really is about finding that presence on our mat. So let's just begin in a nice, comfortable seated position. Take a deep inhale breath just to kind of solidify your space. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and start to let the light fade away by closing your eyes. Start to feel a little bit of heaviness. And as we start to navigate through our postures today, connecting that breath, think about something that you're working towards. So whatever we feed grows. So if you think about those times when you're trying to let go of something or stop yourself from maybe reaching for something that you know is bad for you, I've been doing this practice called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So whenever I feel like I'm going to respond in a negative way, whether it's to myself or to someone else, I count down in my mind 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I either proceed to say what I really mean to say, or I stop myself from speaking altogether. So I think this is a great practice with our breath. We're gonna do that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's just begin. Take a nice deep inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top, think of your intention, something that you're working towards, put it in the forefront of your mind, and then exhale, just let it all go. Relax your shoulders, relax your belly, maybe even hugging the navel in towards your spine. And yoga really is about just trusting in your body's wisdom. Let's do that again. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Retain the breath. Exhale, let it go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do 2 more just like that. Relax the breath, let it all go. That little tiny space in between your inhalation and your exhalation is just as important as the breath itself. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it all go. Let's start to work on our trunk roll. So draw your chin down towards your chest, open your eyes. Just lean back, pull the shoulders forward, internal rotation. Bring your chin down towards your chest, and let's take it all the way over to the left, and then start to carve out your chest as you lift your chin, and then take it all the way back. Once again, chin to chest. Exhale, right through center. Inhale, lean back. Round forward. 1 more just like that. Chin to chest. Inhale, carve out your chest. And exhale. Let's move in the opposite direction. Inhale, and then take a deep exhalation as you move through center. Let's take 2 more just like that. And 1 more. So we always want to move the spine in all directions. Come back to center. On your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Gather your hands at heart center and then take the hands into prayer. Inhale, prayer rises. And exhale, arms by your side. We're just gonna take it right into our tabletop position. So let's come into tabletop, hips and knees in one line. We're gonna take a few rounds of our just traditional cat-cow. Make sure your toes are hidden behind the knees. On your inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine, protract your shoulders, eyes of the elbows rotate in towards each other, no resistance, and then actively press away as you curl your tailbone down towards the earth, chin to chest. Inhale, let's take 2 more just like that. Pull your shoulders away from the midline. Exhale, round and approach in the chest. Inhale, carve out your chest. Gaze up. And exhale, round and curl. Come back to neutral spine. Curl your toes. Let's just lift the hips up into downward facing dog. We're just going to go right into it. So pedal out your feet, bringing lots of movement. Keep a micro bend in your elbows. Sway the hips from side to side. And then we're just going to really warm up that spine. Inhale, just pull yourself forward into your tabletop position, into your plank pose, top of a push-up. Drop your hips, bend your elbows, gaze forward. And then just float the hips all the way back into downward facing dog. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, ripple forward, gaze in between your thumbs. Exhale, drop your hips, floating down dog, and then allow the hips to drop back all the way, belly to thigh. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, drop your hips. Bend your knees, let the hips rise up towards the sky. And then from here, inhale the right leg all the way up to the sky. We're just gonna circle the right knee, tap the right elbow, and then inhale, take it all the way back up. Exhale, circle top, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, take it all the way back. Exhale, circle tap. Inhale, extend it all the way back up. This time we're just gonna shift into our plank pose. We're gonna drop the right foot all the way over to the left side of our space, taking that wild thing. Really lift the heart, lift the chest. And then we're gonna step that right foot right in between your hands. Drop your knee, top of your foot. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, spiral your pinkies in towards each other. Let's just take a rest here. So interlace your fingers, take your palms right to that thigh, taking Kapotasana, maybe a little bit of movement. Just to get deeper into that hip flexor and then find a bit of stillness as you gaze up. Notice all the points of contact on the earth. And then on your next breath, so remember we're connecting the breath, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. And then on your exhale, release the hands, curl the toes, step into plank. Full breath, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, drop to your knees, lower your chest and your chin, and then slide your belly on the earth as you lift up on your inhale breath. And then exhale, sit back, child's pose. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal out your feet, bring lots of organic energy. Yoga is about organic energy. Finding the highest vibration, gratitude for your physical space. And then inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky. Circle the left knee, tap the left elbow. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, circle and tap. Inhale to extend. Exhale, circle, tap. Lift that left leg all the way up and then shift to plank, shoulders over wrist. Bend the left knee and slowly release the left toes. Open up, wild thing. Take a deep inhale breath, lift the hips. And then we're just gonna slowly step that left foot in between your thumbs. Drop your knee, top of your foot, inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. And then on your exhale, settle into Kapotasana. Interlace your fingers. Allow the palms to rest gently onto that top thigh. Open your heart, open your chest. Find a bit of stillness. Always remembering that the body is going to echo the mind. So bring positive words of affirmation. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And then on your exhale, we're just gonna step back to plank pose. Inhale to shift forward, exhale, knees, chest, chin, sweep your heart all the way up, take a deep breath. Exhale, child's pose. Lift your hips, curl your toes, downward facing dog. Come high onto the ball mounds of your feet. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step, hop, or float. Inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold it all the way through. Bend your knees, reverse swan dive, reach all the way out and up, find Utkatasana, chair pose. Spiral your pinkies in towards each other, curl your tailbone down towards the earth, pelvic tilt up towards the sky. And then root down, rise up, arms by your side, mountain pose. Once again, inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. Utkatasana chair pose. Gather your hands at heart center. Take your left elbow outside of the right thigh, taking twisted chair. Option of opening up your arms, taking a half bind. Or maybe you just want to stay plugging the thumbs into your sternum, keeping the hips nice and neutral. Off for 3. And for 2, really hugging the navel into the spine. Last one, fold it all the way through. Inhale, gather your hands at your shins and exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, just step back into your plank pose. Arrive in your shape. Spiral those inner thighs in towards each other. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, let's work through chaturanga. So elbows hug into the ribs, and then peel your heart up towards the sky, bringing all of your awareness inward for a moment. And then roll over those toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come high into the balls of your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward, step, hop, or float. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold it all the way through. Reverse swan dive, reach all the way out and up. Utkatasana chair pose. Hands in prayer position right at the center of your heart, and then right elbow outside of the left thigh. Beautiful job. Open up those arms if it's in your practice, half bind. Crown of the head shooting forward magnetically. Keep drawing the left hip forward and the right hip back. Take a deep inhale, breath, and exhale, fold it all the way through. Reverse swan dive, reach all the way out and up, and then arms by your side, mountain pose. Let's take that Utkatasana once again. Fingertips are up towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana, and then sink your hips heavy over your heels. Let's just stay here for a moment. Just finding the shape. Sometimes we rush through these poses. So just finding as low as you can go in your chair pose. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, fold it all the way through. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, plant your hands, step or float through your vinyasa. Just getting out any of those little kinks in the body. Let's add on. Inhale the right leg to the sky, circle the right knee, tap the right elbow. 2 more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, tap. This time, step your right foot to the top right corner of your mat. Drop your knee, top of your foot. We're gonna sit back into our half split, Ardha Hanuman. Good, and then reset your spine. So inhale, forward, and exhale, fold it all the way through. And we're gonna take this into a little bit of a ladder flow. So we're gonna come all the way up into our pyramid pose. So let's re-bend into that right knee. Curl the back toes, lift that left knee up off of the earth, and then from here, just slide it right to the midline, turning the toes out. And then just take your hands to your hips, roll yourself all the way up. Take a deep breath as you reach your arms to the sky. And then option of either taking reverse namaste, or maybe you just take a fist and press into your knuckles. So we have this nice open space from our lizard pose. Inhale, open your heart, and exhale, find your pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Same action as we took in our Utkatasana twist. You want to really keep the hips nice and neutral. Let your chin just fall towards your chest. Let everything just hang heavy. Feeling that release in the whole back of the right side body. And just remember, we're utilizing the breath to clear away any blockages, maybe a reset. Inhale. And exhale, fold it all the way through. Feel very heavy, like the weight of the world is lifted off of your shoulders. And then from here, slowly start to release the hands to frame the foot. We're going to step the left foot to the top left corner of your mat, sink into your prayer Malasana Yogi squat. Really digging the elbows into your inner thighs, maybe taking a little bit of a rock from side to side. Beautiful job. Release the hands, lift the hips up towards the sky, taking a wide forward fold, maybe grabbing opposite elbows and just kind of resting, decompressing in the spine.
Just magnetically allowing the tailbone to lift as you tug that low belly in and up. Just shaking it out just a little bit. And then sinking back into your yogi squats, malasana. A little bit of movement. And then from here, we're just going to lift the hips back up to the sky. Step it back into your plank pose. Find your plank once again. Protract your shoulders. Finding a bit of stillness here. Downward facing dog. Let's go right into the other side. On your inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Circle, tap the left elbow. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale, circle, tap. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, circle, tap. Inhale. Exhale, circle. Step the left foot to the top left corner of your mat. Drop your knee, top of your foot. Sit back, half split. Inhale, reset. Exhale, fold. So we're just going to prepare our body for our pyramid, our Parsvottanasana. And then rebend into that left leg. Lift the back knee up, curl the back toes, slide the right foot right to the midline or over to the right side of your space. Hands to your hips, roll up. Inhale, arms rise. Good. Take that either reverse namaste or plug the thumbs, or sorry, the knuckles. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, fold in pyramid pose. Right hip is pulling forward, left hip is pulling back. Taking a deep inhale breath. Maybe even resetting the spine. Allow the chin to fall towards the chest. You want to really contract the low belly, the low abdomen. This will help to build your balance. Or balance isn't something that we find, it's something we build, and then slowly start to release. Hands underneath the heart. Turn the left toes out. Let's come back into that yogi squat. Working on those hip flexors just a little bit. Releasing the piriformis muscle, the glutes a little bit. Awesome job, guys. If you have crow in your practice, this is a great opportunity. We're super warmed up. And you feel that this is a great way to kind of ease into an inversion. Then awesome. Just always remembering to direct the breath into those spaces of the body where we feel we hold on to the most tension. And then hands plant, lift your hips up to the sky. Let's toe heel the toes so that they're touching, and then roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Let's take a nice balancer from here. Sweep your arms up towards the sky. Let's bend into that left knee. Grab a hold of the pinky edge of your left foot. Extend that right hand all the way up to the sky, and then we're just going to lean forward as we kick the heel into the glute. Palm down towards the earth. Heart is nice and open, and we're going to be here for 5. Here we go, is that countdown. You can do it for 4, 3, a little bit deeper, for 2, and for 1. Let's come back to center. Draw your knee into your chest. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. And then we're just going to step that left foot all the way back into high crescent lunge. We're coming into Skandasana. So we're going to come, spin that back heel down, parallel to the back of your mat, and then we're coming all the way over to Skandasana. So we're really working these hips today, finding a little bit of a release, hard flex the toes, so finding that dorsiflex. Really working the back of the ankle, protecting the knee. And any type of bind that you may have, you can always sometimes it's super important for us to understand that less is more sometimes in our yoga practice. We just focus on this present moment, being still. Let's take 1 more full round of breath, and then hands plant. Let's straighten out both of your legs, coming into wide forward fold. Making sure that you're still contracting the low abdomen, any variation that you may have, walking the hands through, taking headstand. Just really letting the blood rush to the crown of the head. Just breathing deeply. And then slowly walk the hands to frame out that right foot. Step back, plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Peel your heart up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Find your Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then let's hop to the top of our mat. So come high in the balls of your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward, step, hop or float, half lift, fold it all the way through. Reverse swan dive, reach all the way out and up, hands gather at heart center. Let's take that dancer pose right on the other side. So bend into the right knee, heel to glute. Grab a hold of that pinky edge of your foot, find that connection, and then that left arm reaches up. So we always release on our inhale, and then find that surrender on your exhalation, and then continue to breathe. So here we go, for 5. You do anything for 5 breaths, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Let's draw that right knee into your chest. Just hug it around the rib cage, and then release that right foot down towards the ground. Oh, actually, we're gonna step it into our plank, or into our high crescent. So let's step that right foot back, rise up to high crescent lunge, ground through that back heel, and let's come all the way into our Skandasana on the other side. And we're gonna be here for about 5 breaths. So immediately decide what it is that you would like to do with that bind. Just kind of settling the hips down magnetically towards the ground. Good, hands plant. Let's straighten both of the legs, ground through your left heel, and then come into your wide Prasarita Padottanasana. Just a wide, intense forward fold. And then let's slowly start to frame out that left foot, pivot onto the back toe, step back plank, hold in your plank, inhale, shift forward, exhale, chaturanga, peel your heart all the way up towards the sky, downward facing dog. So we're gonna come onto our bellies for a minute. So let's shift into our plank pose and then lower all the way down to your belly. We're gonna work on cobra, but we're gonna go a little bit more intensely. Pull your palms by your ribs, and then slowly, as you hug the elbows into the rib cage, peel yourself up, making sure that the elbows, the eyes of the elbows are really hugging into the ribs. And we're just gonna stay here for a moment. So making sure that you're really contracting the low abdomen, taking this back bend. So back bending is super important, especially we spend so much time forward folding in our day, at our computers. This is just a nice back bend to not just strengthen, right, the low back, the kidney band, the paraspinal muscles, so those muscles that surround the spine. These are all those intricate parts of the spine that we are kind of getting into a little bit. And let's take one more deep breath, and then sit back into your child's pose. Bring your knees together, and then roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time as you sit onto your knees. Deep inhale breath, and full exhale. Give yourself a moment to close your eyes. Good. And then we're just gonna shift over to our bums for a moment. Extend the legs out in front of you and roll yourself down onto the earth. Bring your knees into your chest, finding a little bit more compression, so a little bit of an opposite counterbalance from our cobra pose. Open up your arms like a nice T, so that open up that wingspan, and then hard flex your toes, press your heels towards the top of your space. We're gonna work a little bit of core here, but we're also just gonna release any tension in that low back. Good, so take a deep inhale, and then exhale, take the knees over to the left. Let them hover over the earth. Inhale to center, over to the right. And then we're just gonna move from side to side. To the left, back to center, to the right. Inhale, and exhale. So what we're doing also is just massaging that glute muscle. So you can even make this into some circles if that feels good, right? So that's inflammation in the piriformis muscle will cause some issues in the low back. Maybe a pinched nerve, which is sciatic. Maybe just any low back tension. Just understanding why we're doing things. We put our energy there. And then once you come over to the left, just pause, drop the knees down, and find this nice gentle twist. Really contract that navel into spine. You can always wrap that right foot around, just taking an eagle wrap. And the twists that we take, even these little subtle ones, just really wrings out the organs of the body. Just detoxes it. And that's what the breath really does for the mind. The mind is a muscle. We need to work it. A lot of times we neglect that aspect of our yoga practice, the breath and the mindfulness of it all. Let's come back to center, uncross if you had it. Let's come back to that tabletop, over to the right, and we're just gonna go from side to side once again. Simple little action. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, maybe you take your hands behind your head, so hammock the hands behind that, and then we'll get a little bit more into that upper core. Side to side. And then release the head, neck, and shoulders. Drop the knees over to the right. Option of taking that eagle wrap and twisting through the other side. Just tapping into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and reset, rest and restore. And then let's come back to center. Take the legs up towards the sky, flex and point. And if you'd like to join me in Halasana plow pose, just take the legs overhead, grab a hold of your bum, and then just maybe even resting the knees onto either your forehead or to the sides of your shoulder. Right, and chin is in your chest, so a little bit more shallow breathing, let go of the breath a little bit. If you have a nice strong shoulder stand, let's take shoulder stand. So take the legs up to the sky, walk the hands all the way up towards the back, bringing the elbows in so that the shoulder and the elbow are in one plane. You can point your toes, flex your toes. The whole goal is to get the hips over the shoulder. Continue with that Ujjayi breath. And then bring your knees all the way back behind you, just taking a little inversion. As you release the hips, drop your palms down onto the ground and then allow the legs to just extend. So each palm is on each glute. Plug into the elbows and then lift your chest, pulling the elbows once again, just like you did in shoulder stand, underneath your heart, making a little shelf. And then let your head fall back as you really puff out your chest. And we're gonna be here for 5. Letting everything go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself down. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then extend the legs. If you need something else, take it now. If not, join me in Savasana. Quick little 30-minute flow. And remember, it's quality, not quantity. Quality of your breath. Take this time to reflect. Thinking about all those moments that you were strong and stable. And think about what it is that you're working towards.
Take your right hand on the low portion of your belly, left hand on your heart. I'm so incredibly grateful at this very moment that you have chosen to practice yoga. And whether you practice it with me or on your own, the power of that union between your mind, your body, and your breath is crucial. Being present with yourself is also crucial. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thank you all.